chapter 13 called The Field and Its Knower. Arjuna speaks. And now, Krishna, I wish to learn about Prakriti and Brahman, the field and the knower of the field. What is knowledge? What is it that has to be known? Krishna answers, this body is called the field because a man sows seeds of action in it and reaps their fruits. Wise men say that the knower of the field is he who watches what takes place within this body. Recognize me as the knower of the field in everybody. I regard discrimination between field and knower as the highest kind of knowledge. Now listen, and I will tell you briefly what the field is, its nature, modifications, and origin. I will tell you also who the knower is and what are his powers. The sages have expressed these truths variously in many hymns and in aphorisms on the nature of Brahman, subtly reasoned and convincing in their arguments. Briefly I name them. First, Prakriti, which is the cosmos in cause unseen and visible feature. Intellect, ego, earth, water and ether, air and fire, man's 10 organs of knowing and doing, man's mind also, the 5 sense objects, sound in its essence, essence of aspect, essence of odor, of touch and of tasting, hate and desire, and pain and pleasure, consciousness, lastly, and resolution. These, with the sum which is blent in the body, these make the field with its limits and changes. Therefore I tell you, be humble, be harmless, have no pretension, be upright, forbearing, serve your teacher in true obedience, keeping the mind and body in cleanness, tranquil, steadfast, master of ego, standing apart from the things of the senses, free from self, aware of the weakness in mortal nature, its bondage to birth, age, suffering, dying, to nothing be slave, nor desire possession of man, child or wife, of home or of household, calmly encounter the painful, the pleasant, adore me only with heart undistracted, turn all your thought toward solitude, spurning the noise of the crowd, its fruitless commotion. Strive without ceasing to know the Atman. Seek this knowledge and comprehend clearly why you should seek it. Such, it is said, are the roots of true wisdom. Ignorance merely is all that denies them. Now I shall describe that which has to be known, in order that its knower may gain immortality. That Brahman is beginningless, transcendent, eternal. He is said to be equally beyond what is and what is not. Everywhere are his hands, eyes, feet, his heads and his faces. This whole world is his ear. He exists, encompassing all things, doing the tasks of each sense, yet himself devoid of the senses. Standing apart, he sustains. He is free from the gunas, but feels them. He is within and without. He lives in the live and the lifeless. Subtle, beyond mind's grasp. So near us, so utterly distant. Undivided, he seems to divide into objects and creatures, sending forth creation from himself. He upholds and withdraws it. Light of all lights, he abides beyond our ignorant darkness. Knowledge, the one real thing we may study or know, the heart's dweller. Now I have told you briefly what the field is, what knowledge is, and what is that one reality which must be known. When my devotee knows these things, he becomes fit to reach union with me. You must understand that both Prakriti and Brahman are without beginning. All evolution and all the gunas proceed from Prakriti. From Prakriti, the evolution of body and senses is said to originate. The sense of individuality in us is said to cause our experience of pleasure and pain. The individual self, which is Brahman, mistakenly identified with Prakriti, experiences the gunas which proceed from Prakriti. It is born of pure or impure parents, according to that kind of guna to which it is most attached. The Supreme Brahman in this body is also known as the witness. It makes all our actions possible and, as it were, sanctions them, experiencing all our experiences. It is the infinite being, the Supreme Atman. He who has experienced Brahman directly and known it to be other than Prakriti and the gunas will not be reborn, no matter how he has lived his life. Some, whose hearts are purified, realize the Atman within themselves through contemplation. Some realize the Atman philosophically by meditating upon its independence of Prakriti. Others realize it by following the yoga of right action. Others who do not know these paths worship God as their teachers have taught them. If these faithfully practice what they have learned, they also will pass beyond death's power. Know this, O Prince, of things created, all are come forth from the seeming union of field and knower, Prakriti with Brahman. Who sees his Lord within every creature, deathlessly dwelling amidst the mortal, that man sees truly. Thus, ever aware of the omnipresent, always about him, he offers no outrage to his own Atman, hides the face of God beneath ego no longer. Therefore, he reaches that bliss which is highest. Who sees all action ever performed alone by Prakriti, that man sees truly. The Atman is actless. Who sees the separate lives of all creatures united in Brahman, brought forth from Brahman, himself finds Brahman. Not subject to change is the infinite Atman, without beginning, beyond the gunas. Therefore, O Prince, though it dwells in the body, it acts not, nor feels the fruit of our action. For, like the ether, pervading all things, too subtle for taint, this Atman also inhabits all bodies, but never is tainted. By the single sun, this whole world is illumined. By its one knower, the field is illumined. Who thus perceives, with the eye of wisdom, in what manner the field is distinct from its knower, how men are made free from the toils of Prakriti, his aim is accomplished, he enters the highest.